this because if you go through here, right, this thing they will see.
Okay. Hello. Hello everyone. Hello everyone, welcome to our live today. Today we are doing 50 grammar and vocabulary questions. Okay, so let's just wait for more people to join before we continue with the practice paper. Hello Mariah Carey. Welcome. Early here, we are doing 50 grammar and vocabulary questions today. Hey, hello. Hello. Let's just wait for more people. Hey, hello, Mariah Carey Lounge. Okay, so we are doing the practice today, right? So this is actually from our ebook, which is the 1200 grammar and vocabulary questions. Okay, so over here, let's start off with the question. Right, we start with the grammar section. Okay, so question number 1. She has been quite busy with her new job, blank. Okay, so has been quite busy. This is positive. Okay, so we are looking at the negative over here, which is, right, we can eliminate 1 and 2. So we are waiting for option 3 or option number 4. Hi, who is this? Oh, you're Iguana. Iguana changed your user. Okay, Mariah Carey. Option number 4, hasn't she? Very good. Okay, question number 1, option 4. Oh, bye-bye, Iguana. It's sad to see you go, but okay. Thank you, Mariah Carey Lounge, for your answer. Hi, Cheyenne. Welcome to our live. Okay, so today we are doing 50 grammar and vocabulary practices once again. Right, so let's start off with question number 1, and we have the answer from Mariah Carey. Okay, so question number 1 will be option number 4. Right, hasn't she? Next question, the popular singer blank the crowd is waiting for is nowhere to be found. Okay, so what is the answer for question number 2? Okay, the popular singer, this is a person. Right, this is a person. The crowd does not belong to the singer, and the crowd is not a person, right? This does not follow the hamburger rule. Okay, so it's actually not whom. It is actually who the crowd is waiting for. Okay, so this singer is who I was waiting for. Okay, it's not whom. Okay, it is who the crowd was waiting for. Okay, so the correct answer is option number 1. Okay, the popular singer, who the crowd was waiting. Why not whom? That's a good question. Okay, so does anyone else have another answer for question number 2? Does anyone else have any answer for question number 2? Okay, so for this question, let me double check with you again, Cheyenne. Okay, I will double check with you again. Let me keep this on hold. I need to check on this answer because there may be an error in the answer key as well. Okay, so let me just double confirm this. I'll come back to you in a short while. Okay, Cheyenne? Let's hold on to this and move on to question number 3, right? So question number 3, please let me know blank your teacher expressed concerns about your behavior in class, said my mother. Okay, so please let me know blank your teacher expressed concerns about your behavior in class. Okay, should. Yes, should is the correct answer because it replaces the word if. Okay, it replaces the word if. It's the most relevant answer for this blank over here. So moving on to question number 4. Neither my parents nor my brother blank to attend the prize presentation ceremony tomorrow. Okay, 2 hints. Tomorrow means present tense. Alright, present tense, and my brother, singular. Okay, so singular, we look at the second subject, right? My brother is the second subject. So for question number 4, what would the answer be? Okay, what would the answer be for question number 4? Okay, question number 4 is option number... Is it option number 2 or option number 3? Okay, yes. Wishes is correct, okay? Wishes to attend. Okay, so neither my parents nor my brother wishes to attend. Yes, that's correct. Moving on to question number 5. Even though the bus was late, I reached home blank time to watch my favorite drama. Okay, so for question number 5, this is a trickier question that we usually encounter, right? You reach home blank time. So, is it on time or is it in time? Okay, Cheyenne, your answer is on time. Okay, so this is a very common question that can stir some confusion within or among students, right? So for in time, reaching in time means that you are early enough. Okay, early enough. However, reaching home on time would mean to be actually being on the dot. Okay, reaching home on the dot. So that is the difference between reaching home in time to watch a drama or reaching home on the dot to watch your drama. So you still reach home in time would be a more suitable answer for this question over here. Okay, so the differentiation between option number 2 and option number 3 is not very big difference. However, there is still a way to tell apart, right? In and on time. Okay, so most likely it will be reaching home just in time, right? Maybe having a few minutes to spare to watch your favorite drama rather than being on the dot itself as the drama starts. Okay, and Cheyenne, I have double checked with the answer key and you are right. Okay, so for this question, answer is actually whom. Okay, so there's actually an error and thank you for spotting it out. Okay, Cheyenne. So the answer will be whom. Okay, because the crowd is also a noun, therefore we have a noun whom noun situation. Okay, because this is the person we are referring to, right? Whom. Okay, if there's no other problem, let's move on to the next part. Yes, Cheyenne, very good job. Okay, it means that you are very strong in your foundations for this kind of questions, and I hope that you can get it correct in the exams. Okay, let's go on to question number 6. With so blank homework assigned over the weekend, Junhui barely had time to spend with his family. Okay, so with so blank homework. No problem, Cheyenne. I hope you can score as high as you can, right? You can reach your goals for your exam. Okay, so with so blank homework assigned over the weekend, many homework. Okay, so in this case, homework is actually uncountable. Okay, in this case, homework is uncountable. Okay, so looking at this is similar to time, money. Okay, similar to time and money because for time and money, it does sound like it is countable. However, what is countable for time? Right, countable for time is hours and minutes. Okay, hours and minutes. And for money, it will be dollars and cents, right? Okay, so for homework, the countable ones are actually the number of pages, the practices, or the workbooks. Okay, so the answer will then be option number 3. Okay, much for uncountable. Therefore, the answer is option number 3, with so much homework assigned over the weekend. Okay, with so much homework assigned over the weekend. Okay, question number 7. Yesterday, Mrs. Cheng observed someone blank the building with a mysterious package. Okay, observe. This is part of the 5 senses. Okay, verb, noun, verb, rule. Okay, verb, noun, verb. So what would the answer be for this question over here? Okay, Cheyenne says that it's option number 2. Saw someone leaving is the correct answer. Okay, we are looking at the gerund, right? So it's the verb plus ing. Okay, verb plus ing. So therefore the answer is actually option number 2. Even though it is in past tense, right? Even though it is yesterday, observe already tells us that it is in past tense. Therefore, if you want to ask why is it not option number 1 or option number 4, right? We already have observe being in the past tense. Therefore, we can use our gerund form or the base form for the next verb. Okay, so moving on to question number 8. Blank the noise in a crowded market. Rashid spotted a familiar face. Okay, the noise. Okay, blank the noise in the crowded market. Rashid spotted a familiar face. Okay, amid. Yes, very good. So why is the answer option number 1? Right. Why is it not prior to, owing to, or other than? Okay, amid means being among, right? So it means being in the midst of the noise. Therefore, this will mean that it's the most suitable answer to use when there's a lot of noise and you are trying to pick up something, right? So, which is what Rashid spotted in the crowded market, which is someone he knows. Is this primary school paper? Yes, Mew Mew, this is primary school paper. This is actually a revision worksheet for P5 and P6s who are preparing for their PSLE. So if you are someone who are actually trying to revise for your prelims or your EOY exams, right, feel free to join us. Even for P4s as well, if you think that you are actually confident in your grammar and vocabulary, you can join us to answer all these questions as well. Okay, so let's move on to question number 9. With no help from the government in the past, the poor blank often hungry and had little to eat. Okay, the poor, right? The poor is generally referring to a group of people, right? It is actually a plural noun, right? It's very general. So this is actually a plural noun that is trying to trick us, okay? And it's in the past, right? So this is past tense as they have spelled it out for us. Okay, past tense and plural noun. So what would the answer be for question number 9? Oh yeah, Cheyenne, if you have any song requests to play during the live session, you can also let me know. Okay, so yes, the poor were often hungry and had little to eat. Okay, the poor were often hungry and had little to eat. Let's go on to question number 10. Having finished her homework and blank her dinner, she sat down to enjoy her favorite video game. Having finished her homework and having something, right? So over here, we are looking at the participle form. Okay, so having finished her homework and having taken her dinner. Yes, and taken her dinner. She sat down to enjoy her favorite video game. Very good. Let's go on to our grammar close. Okay, Singapore's Chinese dialects consist mostly of Teochew, Hokkien, Cantonese, Hakka, and Hainanese. Nowadays, dialect blank more commonly used in short phrases amongst the youth. This is actually spoken more often among the older generation. Typically, we hear them use dialect when they gather blank their friends. One has to only pass blank coffee shops or the void decks to hear them using it. Okay, let's look at the first blank. Right, nowadays, dialect blank more commonly used. Nowadays is implying that it is in present tense. Okay, so this is present. Okay, dialect is singular. Okay, so for grammar close, this is something very important for all of us to take note of. right? There are a lot of hints among the sentences that we have to spot. So it's not as straightforward as the MCQ questions. However, it's still something that we can actually try to look for hints and clues in order to get as high marks as possible, right? We try to score full marks for our grammar clues. Okay, Cheyenne, your answer is B or G. Okay, thank you for changing your answer. That is correct. Okay, dialect. In fact, because without the S, right, this is the plural form. So without the S, this will be singular. Okay, typically we hear them use dialect when they gather blank their friends. Okay, gather blank their friends. So what would the answer be? Okay, what would the answer be for the next blank over here? Right. Okay, sorry, we actually have a little bit of internet issues over here. Okay, thank you, still 799 and Cheyenne. Right, so gather with their friends is correct. Okay, one has to only pass blank coffee shops or the void decks to hear them using it. Okay, pass by the coffee shops. Yes, okay, so passing by coffee shops, right, you can hear some of the elder generations or even your parents, right, or even yourselves. You are able to speak in dialects that you can converse fluently with others, right? This is part of your own tradition, your own culture. So it's very important, right? So English is the most spoken language in Singapore. A few years ago, a survey was administered and it showed blank 36.9% of Singaporean Chinese use English more often at home compared to other languages or dialects. Okay, so and it showed blank 36.9. Okay, question 14. So it showed blank that, yes. Okay, so this is correct, right? It showed that 36.9% of Singaporean Chinese use English more often at home compared to other countries, other languages or dialects. Right, so luckily there's still a high number blank youths. Okay, high number something youths. So this is pretty straightforward as well. What would the answer be? Hello Iguana, welcome back. Okay, so high number blank youths. Welcome Alala. Okay, so Cheyenne says of. High number of youths. Okay, so high number of youths who know their dialect. However, there are still plenty who do not. Is Teacher Yahweh going to be live later? Yes, Iguana, yes, Teacher Yahweh will be live later, so you can stay tuned to join the live session later on. Right, so question 16. Some even show no interest blank. Okay, some even show no interest blank learning it. Okay, so interest blank learning something. Right, so what will the answer? Oh, sorry, can't see the paper. Let me just zoom in. Some even show no interest blank learning it. Right, no interest blank learning it. Iguana, you will be at 5:30, Iguana. Hello, pancakey. Oh, that sounds really cute. It sounds like pancake in Japanese. Right. Is it pancake in Japanese? It sounds really Japanese to me. Right. Is that the penguin's name? Okay, F, right. Interest in learning it is correct. Right. Interest in learning it. Okay, so that is the correct answer. Right. In learning it. Very good. On the other hand, there are blank many youths who are passionate about making sure the dialect is here blank stay. Okay, there are blank many youths who are passionate. Okay, there are blank many youths who are passionate. Okay, so what would the answer be? There are blank many youths who are passionate. There are many youths who are passionate. Okay, anyone else? Okay, so yes, there are many youths, right? That is correct. So the answer will be option B. Okay, there are many youths who are passionate about making sure the dialect is here blank stay. Okay, here blank stay. So does Pankiki want to try answering question 18? Right, here blank stay. Okay, so what did here blank stay? Let me cross this out first. Okay, Cheyenne says 2. How about Pancake? Okay, does Pancake wants to try answering this question over here? Right, here to stay, or is there any other answers for this question? Right, making sure the dialect is here to stay. Yes, okay, so you are correct, Cheyenne. Right, the answer will be M. Some even blank social media pages in hopes to inspire others. Okay, some even blank social media pages in order to inspire others. So what would the answer be? Some even blank. Okay, some even blank social media pages. Yes, okay, the correct answer is option E, have social media pages in hopes to inspire others. This may be seen blank a sentimental effort by some. Okay, this may be seen blank a sentimental effort by some. Seen blank a sentimental effort. Cheyenne, is it this may be seen across a sentimental by some? Is your answer across, or do you have any other answer? Okay, this can be seen blank a sentimental effort by some. Okay, seen something, right? So these two words usually come together, right? So the correct answer is actually seen as a sentimental effort. Okay, so this may be seen as, yes, SK, that is right. Okay, so it is not across, but the answer is actually S. So this may be seen as a sentimental effort by some. This is important as it ensures that Singapore's Chinese dialects remain relevant. Okay, very good. Let's go on to practice for vocabulary segment. Okay, so question 21. While there were 2 blank, the rest of the passengers on the bus did not suffer from any deadly injuries and escaped unscathed. Okay, so did not suffer from any deadly injuries. Okay, so this is actually a big clue for question 21. Right, yes, fatalities is correct. Okay, so fatalities, yes. Hello, Bobo, Bolorma. That's correct. Right, so SK, Cheyenne, and Bobo, that's right. Let's go on to question 22. Owner ball, stop your blank chatter and give my ears a rest. Okay, so this means that it is consistently chattering, right? Okay, consistent, right? Non-stop. Okay, so this is actually a big clue for us. Question 22. So, is it insistent, incessant, infectious, or intentional chatter? Okay, SK says there is an insistent chatter. How about the rest? Right, how about the rest? So, any answers that differ from SK, or anyone wants to try answering the question? Okay, 2, 1. Okay, so I have received several different answers. Mainly option 1 and 2, right? Mainly 1 and 2. Oh, yes, so I have 2 different answers. Okay, Bobo changed to option 2. But yes, so the correct answer is actually incessant. And what does this mean? What does incessant mean? Okay, incessant actually means to be non-stop and continuous. Okay, non-stop and continuous. Okay, so this is incessant. And for option number 1, insistent. This means to be very persistent. Okay, persistent. But it doesn't really imply that there's a lot of talking. So I can say that, oh, he is very persistent on his ideas, right? Or he's very persistent to go to this place. Okay, so it means that he insists on he wants to do this. So infectious is definitely wrong. It usually refers more of diseases or emotions, right? So this does not apply over here. And intentional means to be done on purpose. Okay, purposefully or purposely. Okay, moving on to question 23. Those eye-catching window displays are put up to blank shoppers into our store. So have you ever experienced, right, seeing something on the window display and you actually felt like going into the store just because you saw that on display? Okay, so is it entice, engage, enhance, or entertain? Okay, both of you says, okay, Bobo says 2. SK and Giant says it's entice. Entice and engage. Yet again, we have another competition between option 1 and 2. So what would be the correct answer for this question over here? Is it to engage the shoppers into the shop, or is it to entice them? What does entice mean? Okay, firstly, does anyone know what entice means? Okay, what does entice mean? Luring, okay, attracting, right? Attracting. Yes, luring you. Okay, so it's like attracting people. Entice means to tempt someone, attract or tempt, right? So what does engage mean then? Right, engage actually means to involve or participate. Okay, so when I'm engaging with in a conversation, I'm involved in a conversation. That's why I say that, oh, I'm engaging in this conversation right now, right? I'm engaging in a lesson. Okay, so I'm participating in a lesson. So that is how we really use engage. We don't really say to engage the shoppers, but we can engage with the shoppers. Okay, that means to actually move towards the shoppers and talk to them, right? Sometimes you say that, oh, you see people trying to engage you into getting a grocery basket, or maybe if you have actually been to Uniqlo, right, you can see that, oh, they actually hand you the baskets. They are engaging with you such that you have a better shopping experience. Okay, so that is why we use option number 1. Okay, enhance means to become better, right? To improve or become better. Okay, and entertain. This means to actually amuse people, amusement, right? So usually they say that, oh, you are using entertainment devices or you seek entertainment. Maybe kids, they have entertainment with fun party clowns or like maybe mascots in the party. So that's entertainment. Okay, question 24. I would think very blank before embarking on this journey to the North Pole. Okay, we see North Pole over here. Right. Are you sure you are going to think nonchalantly? Right, this is definitely wrong. Okay, nonchalant means like you don't even care. Okay, animatedly, you do not need to think so dramatically. Right, so the correct answer is actually option number 1. Okay, option number 1. Does anyone know what morosely mean? Okay, even though you may have eliminated that answer because you think that it is 1, but it's good to know some new words, right? It's good to take away some new words. So does anyone know what morosely mean? Sorrowful, okay. Okay, so yes, okay, morosely actually means to be in a gloomy or annoyed way. Okay, gloomy or annoyed. Okay, so this is what morosely mean. So let's try to form a sentence with morosely. So maybe he says that, how do we form a sentence? Okay, she sat in the corner morosely, staring at the floor. Okay, so this is morosely. Okay, so she sat in the corner morosely, staring at the floor. Okay, means that, oh, it feels kind of empty. It also feels like a bit sulky. Maybe she done something wrong or something that she regrets. Okay, so let's go on to question 25. Ibas hopes to blank his relatives when he visits Singapore this month. Okay, so blank his relatives, these are phrasal verbs, right? Very important things to take note of is that these phrases have different meanings, even though they all start with the same word over here, right? However, the second word can actually make a big difference. So does anyone know what are the different meanings for the four options over here, right? Okay, is it call on, call for, call out, or call after? Okay, Cheyenne has an answer. Option number 1. How about SK and Bobo? How about SK and Bobo? What is the answer for question number 25? Okay, SK says call for. Bobo, do you have any answer? Just make a quick guess. Even if you're unsure, it's still good to write down an answer in the exam. Please don't leave your questions blank as well. Okay, Bobo also thinks that is option number 1. Yes, okay, so actually call on is the correct answer for this question. And why is that so? Right? Call on actually means to visit someone. Okay? So maybe you have never heard of this before. However, Abbas hopes to call on his relatives when he visits Singapore. So he means that he hopes to visit his relatives. Okay? And what does call for mean? Okay, call for actually means to demand or require something, right? Demand for something. So the king called for 10 people to actually cook a big feast for him. Okay, so he demand for something, right? Call out actually means to shout or challenge someone. So when you say you call someone out, right, you are actually pointing them out. Okay, means that you are trying to call them out to talk about them or to confront them. So confront. And call after usually means to name after someone. Okay, so he is called after his great grandmother, something like this, right? Okay, let's go on to vocab close. Right, vocab close. Okay, very quick over here. Marie Curie is considered to be one of the most influential scientists of all time. She had a lasting impact on the way we understand the world around us. Okay, she was famous for the discovery of radioactivity that changed the way scientists experimented with the atom. She was she was so dedicated to her work that she refused to take time off, even when she was seriously ill. This led to her contracting radiation poisoning, which killed her in the end. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and only person to win Nobel Prizes in two different sciences, physics and chemistry. Moreover, the founding of her research centers in both Paris and Warsaw also helped make sure that women could continue to study science and contribute to the community. Okay, so for question 26, what would the answer be? Okay, question 26. She had a lasting impact on the way we understand the world around us. So we are looking at the word impact over here. Okay, lasting impact. So question 26, what would the answer be? Okay, very fast, Cheyenne. Your answer is option number 3, influence, influence. Okay, right, all of you did great. Okay, that is the correct answer. So she actually influenced how everyone view the world, right? She was famous for the discovery of radioactivity. Okay, famous. Okay, so it's definitely not notorious because this means to be famous in a bad way. Famous in a bad way. So usually notorious is used more on bullies or people with more negative connotations. Okay, so what would the answer be for question 27? Okay, 2, 3, 2. Okay, so Bobo is very firm on the answer being 3. Recognized. Okay, famous. Is it recognized or is it renowned? How about SK? SK also says recognized. Okay, so for question 27, the answer is actually renowned, right? She's actually a renowned person. Okay, so even though she is a recognized person, right, she may not be very famous in the sense that being renowned means that, oh, a lot of people would know this person. But being recognized means that maybe just a small group of people is recognizes them, right? So even though it may be similar, there is still a slight difference in the meanings between option 2 and 3. Okay, so the more suitable answer to replace the word famous in this context over here is actually renowned. Okay, question 28. She was so dedicated to her work that she refused to take time off. Okay, dedicated. Okay, this is quite straightforward, right? Dedicated. So I believe most of you can get this correct, right? Yes, okay, dedicated means devoted. Very good, the three of you, right? All correct. Okay, let's go to question 29. So, which killed her in the end? Okay, in the end. Okay, so for question 29, what would the answer be? Option number 4. Eventually. Okay, very good. Okay, so eventually that led to her. So over here, moving to question 30. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the only person to win Nobel Prizes in 2 different sciences. Okay, the only. Okay, only. Okay, 111. Yes, that is correct. Okay, so the only person is the sole person in doing that. Okay, so she's the one and only, right? She's the lone soul. Okay, very good. Let's go on to the next exercise, which is grammar once again. So for those of you who are not sure what this is, actually this is a ebook that you are able to purchase on our website. So you can actually comment if you are interested or let me know if you have any questions with regards to the ebook or where to get them. You are able to find it in our link in bio. So if you feel like purchasing it to do practice for any of your exams, right, especially for P5 and P6 students, this is actually for PSLE students revision. Okay, so the display of fireworks blank so spectacular that it left many spectators in awe. Okay, Bobo says 3, 4. Oh, okay. So is it 3, 4, or 1? Okay, this is quite tricky. I have different answers. Okay, so over here, display of fireworks. Okay, we only look at display, which is singular. Okay, display is singular. Right, it left many spectators in awe. This is past tense. Okay, singular and past, the answer is 3. So Bobo is correct. Okay, for this question, Bobo is correct. The display of fireworks was, yes, okay, capital letters WAS. So option number 3. So please do not be tricked by fireworks because we look at the display, which is a collective noun. Okay, the display is a collective noun. So this means that it's actually a singular form, right? It's a group. It's the group of fireworks. Okay, so question number 2. Despite having blank excellent reviews, is this countable on the internet? Can you see how many reviews are there on the internet? Okay, is this countable or uncountable? Okay, is this countable? Yes, thank you, SK. Right, this is actually countable. The reviews are countable. Right, the famous restaurant failed to live up to Jack's high expectations. Means that if you have high expectations, means that there are a lot of excellent reviews, right? So what would the answer be if it's countable? Okay, 3. Yes. Okay, all of you are correct. The 3 of you are correct. The answer is option number 3. Question 3. The lady blank Lisa bumped into yesterday was her childhood friend. Okay, so for this question, it's very straightforward already. Right, I believe most of you already know how to do question number 3. So the answer will be, okay, Cheyenne and Eski. Let's wait for Bobo. Okay, so the lady blank Lisa bumped into. Yes, whom Lisa bumped into. Right, because lady and Lisa are noun. Okay, and the lady whom Lisa bumped into. So whom is actually referring to how you can replace the word he, she. Okay, actually him and her. Okay, so whom actually replaces him, her, them. Okay, so let's move on to question number 4. Ken, as well as his classmates, blank once a week for the dance performance since last semester. He cannot wait to perform next week. Okay, since last semester, cannot wait to perform next week. Okay, so there are 2 hints over here and 3. Okay, over here, this is additional information. So we only focus on can because of the 2 commas over here. Okay, so you can see the 2 commas over here. These are distractor commas. Okay, so has been rehearsing. That is correct. Okay, very good, Bobo. I'm happy that you are very confident in your answer. Okay, so the answer is actually option number 3. Has been rehearsing since last semester. Is present perfect continuous. Okay, let's go on to question number 5. Blank, we leave the house now. We will not be able to reach the airport on time. Ahmad hurried his family. Okay, you have to leave now or you will not be able to reach. Okay, or else, right? So, unless, yes, okay. Very straightforward once again. SK and Bobo, that is correct. Cheyenne as well, right? Unless we leave the house now. It has to show a contrast between these two, right? So if you leave the house now, why will you be late? Okay, so because of the contrast, therefore we use unless. Okay, so let's go on to question number 6. Right, the guest of honor blank an important speech. Now, please stop talking. The prefect reminded the students. Okay, so Cheyenne says option number 4 will be giving an important speech. Now, Bobo says 4 as well. How about SK? Now. What does now mean? Now. Okay, what does now mean? Now means present tense. Yes, that is right. So we can cross out option number 1. However, now means currently, right? Currently. Okay, at the moment. Okay, so which of the answers over here implies that it's actually happening right now? Okay, I'll give you some time, right? I'll give you some time to think about this. So is it 3 or is it number 4? Okay, so seems like everyone has changed their mind. Yes, okay, so I'm glad that you understood the meaning of being currently, right? So it's actually option number 3, is giving an important speech now, because this is one person as well, right? One person is giving an important speech now. So will be giving will be actually for the future. Okay, he will be giving a speech in 5 minutes. Please take your seats. Okay, so that will be implying for the future. Therefore, we use option number 3 because of the word now. Hi, Karine. Hello. Welcome. Okay, let's do question number 7. Taking regular breaks away from your digital devices, blank important for maintaining healthy eyesight. Okay, Karine and Bobo says it's option number 1. Okay. Wow, Bobo very confident. How about Cheyenne? Okay. Oh, Reen, hi. Thank you for your friendship necklace as well. Sorry, I just saw it. Okay, thank you so much for joining our live. Right. Okay, question number 7. Okay, SK also answer. So is it number 1? Everyone answer is apparently the same, right? Is this a coincidence or do you actually understand why is the answer option number 1, right? So taking regular breaks away from your digital devices, blank important for maintaining healthy eyesight. It is in present tense, right? Because all of these are written in present tense. Okay, present tense. And why is it singular then? Right, because we don't focus on the breaks. We focus on the action of taking regular breaks. Okay, so is the action the one singular action of taking a break? So therefore the answer is option number 1. Very good, everyone. Okay, good job for answering this question. It's actually a trick question meant to confuse students to thinking that they should actually answer R for the breaks. However, the correct answer is option number 1. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Abdullah. Okay, let's go to question 8. Every morning, Bala walks to school blank he. Okay. He walks to school, so this is positive. Blank he, this is negative. Okay, so what would the answer be? Okay, Bobo and Abdullah says that it's option 4, Cheyenne as well. How about the rest of you? SK is present tense, so it's 4. Bobo, you're on the right track. However, let's go on further with the details. Okay, so yes, it is present tense. Walks actually can imply to be Bala does walk to school. Okay, he does do this action, right? He does walk, but it's just because walk is already a verb, therefore we don't have to put the word does in front of walk. Okay, so this actually can translate into Bala does walk to school, doesn't he? So it's more straightforward for us to understand how to answer this question over here. Okay, let's go on to question number 9. You blank get a license before you can drive, the driving instructor told Paul. 3, because it's something like an instruction. Okay, Karine. Thank you for the explanation along with your answer as well. And that is correct, okay? You must, because I'm telling you that this is the law, right? Getting a license, this is actually a important thing before you can drive, right? You shouldn't be driving without a license, a valid driver's license, or it's actually equivalent to traveling with a passport as well, right? You're not supposed to travel without your passport. So you must bring your passport when you travel. So it's the same thing. It's like a demand is like important because this is what the law says, right? So for question number 10, the hotel staff apologized, blank the inconvenience caused by the unexpected blackout. Okay, apologized, blank the inconvenience caused. Okay, question number 10, what would the answer be? Okay, apologize for, yes, okay, apologize for the inconvenience caused. Okay, and everyone, if you have any music suggestion for the live session, you can actually let me know, right? Actually, you get the moderator to play the song if you request it, right? Just make sure that it's not too like ridiculous. Please don't give me too crazy songs as well, right? But you can feel free to drop some song recommendations for us as well, right? We'll be glad to play the songs that you enjoy listening to during the live session as well. Okay, so let's go on to grammar close over here. Will infringe copyright? Shai, I'm not sure about that. Thank you for your concern as well, right? But we are actually testing it out. Okay, so this is actually a new live format that we are testing out also. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so this is the grammar close over here. A brand influencer is someone who partners with a brand to advertise their products or services through online content marketing. Brand influencers might review a product, take photographs or create videos of blank using the product, make unboxing videos or host giveaways for the brand. Okay, videos of blank using the product. Okay, videos of blank using the product. Okay, Karine says it's J. Themselves. Okay, SK also says that it's J. Right, themselves. Okay, Bobo also agrees. Cheyenne, yes, I agree. TikTok is pretty strict, right? But we are actually using the TikTok studio, so the music should come from here, hopefully, right? So J, because it makes sense. Okay, Karine, thank you for trying to come along with an explanation for your answer. But yes, right, because these influencers, we are referring to them, right, themselves using the products. Okay, so make unboxing videos or host giveaways for the brand. They are part of a marketing strategy. Blank the brand gets introduced to an audience using the power of someone's popularity. Okay, so this is actually very, very commonly seen, especially if you're on this app itself, right? You see a lot of influencers recommending you, oh, this is a hidden gem in Singapore, right? That is to gain awareness of where you can go and eat, which restaurants you should go, which cafes you should go, or even items, right? Like commonly seen advertisements done by brand influencers. Okay, so question number 12 is option. Okay, EMMMM. Okay, I see more M's. Yes, so strategy, right? Where the brand gets introduced to an audience using the power of someone's popularity. Okay, so marketing strategy, where the brand gets introduced. So why is it where? Because the brand gets introduced to the platform. Okay, we are referring to this place which is on the social media platform. Okay, that is why we use where. Looking at blank to become a brand influencer. Okay, you see the question mark. This is a giveaway. I knew that I will get it wrong. Karine, it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from it, okay? So now you understand why the answer for that blank is M. Okay, so do you know what the answer for question 13 is? Okay, looking at blank to become a brand influencer, right? Karine, is it H? Is it looking at the to become a brand influencer? Do you think it flows well with the option number H? Right? There's a 2, right? Okay, so this is actually a quite obvious answer, right? Wait, no. Okay, Karine. Okay, we give Karine a chance to redeem herself and answer the question. Right, looking at blank to become a brand influencer, right? Yes, okay, so all of you are correct actually. Bobo, I see the uncertainty in your answer, but you still managed to get it right. Yes. So looking at how to become a brand influencer, because of the question mark, it implies that it's a question, and naturally you actually steer to the 5W1H, right? So yes, option B is correct. You blank not become an influencer overnight. Okay. So you blank not become an influencer overnight. Karine, you are not become an influencer overnight. You are in this case does not really sit well in this context. Okay, SK and Cheyenne says that is you will not. Yes, that is right. Okay, you will not become an influencer overnight. This is something that is pretty certain, right? It's rarely a case that people become influencers overnight. Okay, they actually start gaining a pool of audience first before becoming really famous, right? Getting their videos to millions and billions of views. I'm not sure if there was can, I would have said it. Okay, so that's right, Bobo. However, usually when there is a can and a not, right, we usually don't group them together. If a not is over here, I wouldn't recommend you putting the word can over there unless I'm not sure if there was not. Oh, yes. Yes. So if let's say that there's an option which is can, right, it will still not be very good to put can over here unless you have really no choice or that's the last option you have, right? Because usually when it is cannot, they will actually spell it together, right? Okay, they will spell it together. Yes. Okay, so building a group of followers take time, effort, and strategy. Blank, if you have the determination and creativity, it is possible to become one. Okay, Karine, you need more practice. Definitely is okay. Everyone is practicing along with us during the live session. I'm really glad that you joined the live session to do the practice. Okay, so Cheyenne, Bobo, SK, and Karine. Okay. C, yes. However, because of the comma, right? So we know which conjunction we should use, which is however, you have the determination and creativity. Bobo, I'm not sure. Okay. I understand you're not sure, but that's actually a smart guess as well. Right? And maybe it sounds correct to you, probably C. So if you're unsure in the exam, right, you can either skip the question first, right, and you come back to the blank later on, or you just try to put the most possible answer that fits the blank best. Okay? Moving on to question 16, be sure that your reasons for becoming an influencer blank driven by a desire to share valuable content. Okay, reasons. Okay, I give you the hint, right? For this question 16, reasons. Okay, reasons is plural. Okay, Cheyenne, Bobo, SK. So is it is or is it are? Reasons. Be sure your reasons for becoming an influencer are driven. Yes, okay, Bobo, I'm glad you caught on. It is plural, so it is option A, right? Are driven. Your reasons, okay? Take note of the plural form. So this is something you have to take note of when you're doing grammar clues. There are hints along the way in the passage for you to answer the question, okay? So if you're really stuck, read the question again. Read the sentence before and after the blank. Okay, eventually you'll be able to derive to your answer. Your earnings depend on the brands you work with, blank number of followers you have, how engaged they are, and the types of projects you take, blank. Okay, so depend on the brands you work with, blank number of followers you have. Okay, we are referring to the specific set of numbers, right? Okay, Cheyenne says the number of followers you have. How about the rest? How about the rest of you? Is it the? Okay, HHM. Okay, what's with the change of answer? Okay, M is already used, right? M is already used. So the correct answer is actually H, right? The. Okay, so the number of followers you have, how engaged they are, and the types of projects you take, blank. Okay, types of projects you take, blank. Oh, mistype. Okay, understood. So question 18, right? Number of blank. Oh, sorry. Number of followers you have, engaged they are, and the types of projects you take something, right? What do you do to projects? You take blank projects. Okay, What do you do? Take on. Yes, Cheyenne. Very good. This is a phrasal verb as well, right? Taking on projects means that you are handling or managing that project on your own. Okay, so the answer is F. Yes, SK, that is correct. An influencer is not an influencer, blank any followers. Okay, any followers. So what would the answer be? Are you still able to see the blank or the options on top? Okay, I hope you're still able to see. Please let me know if it gets too small because I'm trying to squeeze the blank into the screen as well. Okay, without. Okay, very good. Yes, okay, so the correct answer is without any followers, you are not an influencer. Oh, yes, mistyped. Understood, SK. So that is correct. You must first select an area blank focus on. Select an area blank focus on. So you must first select an area blank focus on. Okay, you must first select an area blank focus on. Okay, so let's take some time to answer the question. Okay, so what is the answer for this question over here? Oh, let me go to the blank once again. Right, you must first select an area blank focus on. Cannot see, Bobo cannot see. Okay, it's 2, right? So for question 20, the correct answer is actually K, right? So you must first select an area to focus on. Okay, so 2 over here, we can cross it out over here, right? So to focus on. Choosing the right area of focus like food or gaming can be a strategic decision. Okay, let's go on to our last segment, which is our vocabulary practice today. Right, so let's start off with question 21. The customer service officer attended to the blank child who was crying as she could not find her parents in the mall. Okay, attended to the blank child. Okay, so the customer service officer attended to the blank child who was crying. Okay, as she could not find her parents in the mall. Oh, cannot see. Okay, let me zoom out a little. Okay, because she could not find her parents in the mall. So when you cannot find your parents, are you exhilarated? Please don't tell me that this child is extremely happy, crying tears of joy. Right, so it's actually distress, right? That is correct. Okay, attended to the distressed child. Question 22, let's go on. Jacob often blanked illness to avoid exercising. His teacher soon found out and told him to stop pretending to be unwell. Okay, so pretending to be unwell means to feign illness. Yes, okay, feign ignorance means pretending to ignore. You feign something means you are trying to pretend, right? So the correct answer is option number 2. Hi Rin, thank you for sending the rose. Okay, so let's go on to question 23. Stop blank and get straight to the point. We do not have much time for discussion. Okay, so stop blank and get straight to the point. Hello, Min Pao. Oh my god. Okay, question 23. So stop blank and get straight to the point. This is a very common question idiom that we see, right? Beating around the bush means avoiding the topic. Avoiding the main topic. Okay, meaning making a long story short, this is summarizing something. Okay, getting your fingers burnt. What does this mean? Okay, does anyone know what does getting your fingers burnt mean? Okay, so this is less seen as compared to the other two at the front. You touch fire. Okay, 面包, that is a very literal expression of getting your fingers burnt. However, yes, okay, so touching fire means that you'll burn your fingers, which means to suffer from consequences, right? Suffer from consequences. Okay, so hitting the nail on the head, what does this mean? Okay, what does hitting the nail on the head mean? Okay, hitting the nail on the head. Bullseye, yes. Okay, so it means to be accurate. Okay, it means to be very accurate. Got it exactly right. Right on topic, getting it right. Yes, all of you are correct. Okay, so the only one that is more tricky is actually option number 3. Okay, moving on to question 24. Okay, question 24. Sarah cannot attend the party as she needs to blank her younger siblings while her parents are away on a business trip. Okay, so she needs to blank her younger siblings while her parents are away on a business trip. So she needs to take care, right? She needs to take care of them. Okay, so is it look for, look into, look over, or look after? Yes, okay, look after is the correct answer. This means to take care of. Take care of her younger siblings. Okay, so what does look for mean? This means to search for something, right? I'm looking for this person, searching. What does look into mean? Okay, let me look into this. Okay, so what does look into mean? Any idea? To find out. Okay, SK, that is close. Yes, you are investigating it. You are trying to find out something, right? Okay, looking into something means that you are investigating the case. I'm going to look into this further. Okay, look over. What does look over mean? Okay, what does look over mean? Okay, look over and overlook is actually two different words, right? So look over actually means to 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 what? Okay, Cheyenne says investigate. How about the rest? What does look over mean? To see. Okay. Right, look over actually means to examine or inspect something. Okay, examine or inspect something. Okay, so look over. Okay, ignore. Okay, that's a very good answer for overlook. Okay, so overlooking something means that you miss out. However, looking over is actually the opposite meaning. Okay, so look over can mean to be a quick inspection, right? So in a hurried way. So usually it's like a very quick few minutes. So can I have a quick few minutes to look over what you have written, right? To quickly inspect what you have written down, right? So I want to look over this case, right? So let's go to question 25. Okay, so a or an blank broke out between fans of two soccer teams. Some fans were badly injured during the fight and had to be sent to the hospital. Okay, so Eski has the answer. How about the rest? Okay, 1. Okay. So for question 25, the answer is... Okay, Cheyenne have protest. So is it 1 or 2? How about Bobo? Is Bobo still here? Okay, anyone else wants to try answering this question? Our last question for the live session today. So let's see who else has the answer before I reveal the answer to question 25. Okay, anyone else for question 25? Is it option number 1 or option number 2? Okay, is it option 1 or option 2? Okay, Mianbao says 1, a brawl. Okay, so only Cheyenne says it's 2, it's a 2v1 now. So yes, that's the correct answer, right? A brawl is actually the correct answer for this question. 3, 4 PAP, yes, okay. So currently is in the elections period. So if you all are caught up with the news, this means to elect a new political party or leader to handle and take over things, right? So, okay, Shine, you change the answer to 1. Yes. So, a brawl. This means a fight. Okay, a fight broke out between fans of two soccer teams. Okay, a protest would actually mean to be going against something, right? So, any protest that you have actually studied before or heard before. Okay, so you can actually say that, oh, John protested against his mother because he doesn't want to go to um, school or something like this, right? So protest means going against, trying to stand up against this idea or a rule, right? Gender wage gap, okay, yes, Mianbao, there is a commonly seen protest amongst all the other countries as well, right? Oh, you read about the tariff protest, okay. So all of you are actually quite caught up with the current affairs. Yeah, there's actually a lot of protests going on. Like there are LGBT ones as well as maybe especially during elections periods for or other countries as well. There will be certain protests, right? But I think it's actually illegal in Singapore. London weight management. Oh, there's actually a protest for that, Mianbao. Right. There's actually a protest for that. Or am I tripping? IDK, I see. Okay. SKY, why are you laughing? You're laughing as if you know like there's something hidden behind that message. Okay, yes. So this is actually a good discussion going on. Right, so election, yes, we know that it is the upcoming elections. Everyone has a free holiday. Because he said London weight management, so you find it funny. Okay. Competition. How about competition? A competition broke out between the fans. This is definitely wrong because the competition should be within the main team that the fans are supporting, right? So most of us would know the meaning of competition. So the only trouble that students will find is between options 1 and 2. Okay, and that is all for our live session today. Thank you all for joining our live session. Your mom told you that there are rallies coming up. Yes, the rallies from the different teams, right? Actually, it started already. So if you are actually interested, you can tune into the news, right, to check out more. Yes. Okay, so bye bye everyone. Okay, thank you everyone for joining and entertaining. Okay, thanks Mianbao and Cheyenne as well as SK. Okay, bye bye. Thank you. See you. All the best for those of you who are having upcoming exams as well. Okay, see you. Bye bye.